Hello and welcome to the Reach Out for Mental Health podcast. I'm Stu Whiffin. Joining me always, Kirsty Eaton. You all right?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad at all. Well, look, I'm going to jump straight in here and introduce today's guest because this is your first time meeting our guest today, Kirsty,
Indeed.
and I've obviously been bigging her up to you ever since I've joined the charity, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce broadcaster, comedian, lovely human being, Gail Porter. Hello.
Thank you so much for having me. Lovely to meet you as well. So yes, how exciting is that? Well, it's great. It's good to talk about mental health, and I love it. It's great. Thanks.
Wonderful. Well, before we do that, and we've always got the question that we always start with, but before we do any of that, like, oh, do you know what? No, I'm gonna start as we always start. I'm not gonna mess with a
You're not
formula.
going to go off script.
No, because I know what I'm like, and I know what Gail's like. We'll end up
Going off
talking about
script.
something else for the next 20
We'll end up
minutes.
talking about ghosts.
Like,
Scripts. I love off script.
oh, don't worry. Once we've got the first question out of the way, the rest of it will
Yeah,
just
we're
be
all good.
spiraling all over the place. Don't worry about that. Um, Gail, if I say the words mental health to you, what do you think?
Misunderstood.
Okay.
People don't understand. They use it too frequently, and I think that people are very happy to throw mental health around, like the words mental health around, and not actually take it seriously enough. I think it's I mean, it's great that people are talking about it, and it's great that we're getting the opportunity to open up what our experiences are. But I do think sometimes it's just thrown around a little bit too much. And I do a little thing in my comedy when I talk about me trying to get to a doctor, and it's not funny because it took me almost 5 months to even have someone talk to me because I didn't have a physical injury. So mental health, I would just say it's misunderstood and misrepresented, probably.
And we'll as the podcast unfolds, we'll talk about the fringe because I've not had a catch up with you about that anyway. So I want to know all about that before we wrap. And obviously, we'll get onto the documentary you made, which the BAFTA award winning documentary, I should call it by its right name, which was incredible. But I want to sort of take you back first, Gal, and I mean, I've had conversations with you about sort of similar stuff in the past on other podcasts, but um, can you remember, like, to tell us a little bit about you growing up and when you first had a feeling or an experience where you thought, oh, maybe I could be feeling a bit better than this. Like nothing, I don't feel maybe as I should, or you realise that something wasn't, your well-being wasn't maybe where it should have been.
I think I knew pretty early on, um, maybe early teens, that I knew that something wasn't right. And then there was a few incidents, just stuff anyway, and then things were kind of spiraling, and then I wasn't mentally coping with just everyday life. And then I started overeating, which was like, yeah, it was a comfort thing, but I knew something wasn't right. So I didn't know what to speak to anyone. So I thought, well, my grandpa was best friends with the man that owned the best ice cream shop in the entire of Edinburgh. So he'd come back with like 2 liter boxes, and then they put it in the freezer. And then when mum and dad went out to the pub or something, I'd just take it and go upstairs and eat the whole lot. And then I started thinking, you get told off for doing that. And I was thinking, why am I doing this? I'm obviously overcompensating for something and I don't know what it is. And then, someone would say something mean, and then I started not eating. There was always some sort of, I needed to be in control of things because my mind was just, it just didn't feel right. And I was sad some days, and I didn't know why I was sad, and I was crying. And then the next day I'd be the happiest person. And I had friends that would hang out with me, and then friends that wouldn't because they didn't know where my mood was going to be. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Mm.
absolutely. And
And so I knew something was wrong. I knew something. Well, I knew it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's different.
yeah, yeah. I think that's an important thing you've just said there, and I can totally relate to the eating, and it's. I often think that I've never had any kind of mental health issues. But when I look at my eating, it's very apparent I've had lots of mental health issues, and it's just my way of dealing with them or trying to make sense of them and control them. I think what you said, it's, it's something you can have control of.
The overeating was like comfort. So you'd eat stuff that was like, oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. And then someone would say, oh, you look really fat. And then you think, okay, well, I need to sort this issue out. And so my brain is just going, well, just stop eating.
Yeah.
There was no in between with me. So I knew that something was wrong in my brain, because it wasn't just like, or maybe just not eat 2 liters of ice cream every single day. Just go 2 liters, 2 liters, 2 liters, nothing. Hunger strike. And that's not normal.
It's not, no.
What about your family?
But it was not, it just, something wasn't balanced.
Did your family detect that something was amiss?
We're Scottish. We don't talk about things like that. No, they just go, are you sad? Go to your room.
Leave the ice cream, though. Put that back.
It's a very difficult thing to kind of like, no, it was nothing that would come up in a conversation. I mean, I talk to my daughter about everything, and that's why she doesn't come to see anything that I do. She went, I've heard it. So I think it's really important to say to my daughter, right, do you know what? If you've got this problem, eating, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, you talk about it. You talk to me, you talk to anyone. And she's like, yeah, I get it. So I kind of wished I had that with my mum and dad, but I didn't. They were very kind of, I mean, my dad never even acknowledged the fact that my arse was on a massive building.
Really? He just
ignored it. Oh, no, don't know her. No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how Scottish she was, yeah.
I'm laughing at that and thinking, God, that's quite crazy, because of the furore and interest and, how crazy that was when that happened. But then I just thought, my daughter's 21. What if her arse was on the side of the Houses of Parliament? How would I deal with that? I think I might be quite Scottish about it. I think I might be.
I was about, no, what was I, 26, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a dad thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd done enough. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what I'd done before, but I mean, he dealt with me since, I was born, and he wasn't really around a lot. But then from 15, 16 onwards, he had to deal with all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah.
And he didn't care then either.
And I think, saying that you had bouts of, of crying and feeling low and then being happy and then overeating and then not eating. For me, looking in, the last thing that anybody that's experiencing those kind of feelings needs is to throw themselves into the world of fucking celebrity. I know what I'm going to do.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I think it's because I was thinking about this as well when I was writing, and I was like, why? Why would I do this? But I did try a lot of jobs before, and none of them made me happy. And then I don't know what it was. It was back in the day when it started top of the pop. So I was thinking music, fun, you've got a microphone, and then these were the days that you're not getting hacked. And it was a stupid sort of career path to take, to be honest, when you're feeling insecure and you're worried about what people are going to say about you, and when you've got tabloids writing about you and your mental health is not great. But I just thought, you know what, I'm young, I'm going to do what I want, and then I'll crash and burn later. But I didn't think that was coming. But yeah, I didn't really think about it. And also, it wasn't planned. I wanted to be an editor. And then it was just sort of, I went for different jobs working backstage. And then someone said, oh, you should just do this, go for an audition. I was like, I don't really want to. And it kind of sort of snowballed, and I got caught up in the whole thing of, oh, amazing, amazing, until suddenly everyone starts attacking you. And then you think, oh, this is a terrible idea. What was I thinking? So I got caught up in the happiness. So that was great for my mental health, because I was just like up here going, oh my gosh, I'm doing a job and everyone's so kind and everyone's lovely. And then something bad happens, or your hair falls out, and then you are picked on and destroyed by the press. And you just think, oh, I didn't see that coming. So yeah, but you learn a lot, I guess. But yeah, it's not the ideal industry to get into.
I can understand, like, the excitement of like you say, being in your 20s and you're presenting, Top of the Pops, a show that we all would have grown up obsessing over, and you're getting to be surrounded by all of these beautiful pop stars, and it must have been the most exciting thing. And as somebody that was watching Top of the Pops then and watched your career, everybody loved you. You was just, me and all of my mates, we all fancy Gal Porter.
Please don't say it, Blade. Please don't say it.
and you were so likable, like everything and it's lovely that I've got to know you, and you're still every inch that lovable person, and I think it's perfectly natural to want to be, when you're given that opportunity, and that's a rare opportunity that most people would love to get, and you got that and you run with it, and it was super exciting. But it was also at a time when, gutter press like the News of the World and the Sun were at their most fucking ruthless, and for somebody that was, didn't at times have the most, I guess, balanced mental health, if I can say that. How did you deal with, when people are sort of the press had write a very unfavourable thing about you?
I would tell you on a Friday. So this is how we learn about the News of the World. I'd be okay Monday to Thursday, because News of the World was Sunday. So you'd be all right Monday to Thursday and think, okay, I'm not too anxious. Have I done anything wrong? Have I done this? And I'd be panicking about, did I wear something right? Because they print a picture of you going, oh, what was she thinking? Oh, she's put on weight. Oh, she's done this. Oh, just everything. But anyway, Monday to Thursday was okay. And then Friday, if you got a call at 6:00 on a Friday night, you knew something was coming out in the News of the World, because what happens, I only learned this through doing my weird job, but at 6:00 on a Friday night, most lawyers have gone home. So, and people like me couldn't really afford lawyers, as much as you think that, well, people thought we were earning loads of money. You'd get like 500 quid to do Top of the Pops, then your agent was whatever. But anyway, everyone thinks you're minted. But anyway, so Friday night, if the phone went after 6:00, you knew that was someone from the News of the World or one of those trashy papers saying, do you have a comment on the story that we're printing on Sunday? And you're going, what story? And I mean, it could be something, nothing. It could be, they went, just let you know, we are doing a story on you on Sunday. It's Friday night. And you're thinking, well, I don't have a lawyer. I've got all day Saturday to sit and feel sick and just think, why have they picked on me? What have I done? And then I get to Sunday and maybe nothing would be in, but they're just like making sure that in case it went in, I've been informed. And so that's how it used to work. So anytime after 6:00 on a Friday, I'm like, I'm going to be sick. Because it was just like stupid things. Like, I don't know. I didn't really do anything. But just the fact that they're watching you always freaked me out, or they knew where you'd been or who you'd seen, or I don't know. So yeah, it was not good. Mental health ways, that was not good.
So if I may interject, so obviously, this kind of system is well known within showbiz and the people that work within it. And, I think it would be naive to say that you would have been the only person that's struggling with their mental health at that time. So did you have any kind of confidants that you could speak to, that you could confide in, that you would trust, that you could be vulnerable about your mental health in those days?
Well, I did for a little while, but then stuff kept coming out in the press. And then that's when we realized that our phones were being hacked. So you couldn't speak to anyone.
Oh,
so you couldn't call anyone because you didn't know. And there's someone outside your house taking photographs of you going to the shops. Or when I was sectioned, there's people outside where I was sectioned because my phone had been hacked. So they knew where I was. When my mum was dying of cancer, there was people outside my mum's ward because my phone had been hacked. And I didn't know. So I stopped talking to people, but I didn't mistrust someone, but I just thought, is someone maybe just chatting? And so I just, my chats went from, oh my God, I'm really feeling terrible, to going, no, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. What are you doing today, Gail? I'm going to stay in the house all day. Because I'm thinking, he's saying what to who? I don't know. It's just, it was not cool.
That's terrifying. It must be so claustrophobic because you just become so insular because you don't know who to trust and
you get a sense of paranoia.
Yeah.
I still won't have people stay in my house at all. I mean, also, I love cleaning, and if people come in and they're dirty, oh no. But no, I just don't like people. I don't like it. It's fine if I'm out and it's okay, but I still get a little bit paranoid about things. And there was a lady yesterday when I was sitting having lunch. I was doing an interview with someone, but not about my life or anything. It was something different. And there was a lady on her phone, and I was watching, and the girl was watching as well. She was my friend, and we're both sitting there going, like, is she? Because she put the phone next to me, and I was like, oh my god, is she this? I was like, how are we living like this? This is nuts. And then I looked at her phone and went, no, she's Googling how to get to Goodge Street.
How do you think because if we're looking at the years that we've spoken about, being predominantly the sort of mid to late 90s, after that we've seen the onslaught of social media. How do you think that's been on the whole for people's mental health, and how has it affected yours?
I think well, I use social, how I use my social media. I just do, like, I'll send you stuff to do with Alan Partridge. Or, and I was like, oh, you like it? It's outtakes.
Gal, I've got to tell you, there's a meet and greet with him as Alan in Norwich. We've got to go.
Oh my God, we've got to go. There's so many nice things that can be done with social media. So, I could work with a lot of charities and work with mental health and try and like talk to people. But also it's a terrible place as well for young people, because I've done quite a lot of talks trying to explain to kids, they go, oh, such and such says I'm fat, such and such says I look like this. And then mentally, that's not good for kids. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. Have you met that person? And they go, no, but, and I was like, delete. It's delete. So that's the thing that upsets me about social media is the bullying that goes on, and the fact that sometimes kids who have got mental health issues or issues with their body image, all that kind of stuff, it all works up to your mental health anyway, but they read something from a stranger and then they react to that, and then it goes on to, then they're all like crisscrossing conversations about, you look like this, you look like that. Use social media as a good place. If you don't, if someone says something mean to you, you've got to remember, you don't know that person. Block them. Report them. I report anyone that says anything mean to anyone. Quite like it, actually. It makes you feel like the internet police. Hello.
No, 100%. It's I mean, that's one of the biggest fears with me. So I've got a young daughter, she's 7. And I'm really, really fearful about the world that she's going into and what secondary school is going to be like. Because, naturally, being aware of what you look like and having all the right trainers. And I mean, even now she's asking, Mummy, can I have a mobile phone because so-and-so's got a mobile phone? And I'm like, no, you're 7, forget about it.
7?
But when I was at school, you still got bullied and these things happen. Like, you'd get ridiculed for not having the right trainers and whatnot. But it stopped at the school gates, and then you went home, and then you could sit and watch The Simpsons, or have dinner with your family, and then when
you're
you
so much younger than me,
you have a reprieve. But now it follows you. There is no respite. It's there constantly. There's no escape from it at all.
And it's a worry for young people. And 7, no, my daughter didn't. I gave my daughter a phone when she was 16.
That's when I got my first phone, I think.
Yeah, and I thought that was a pretty good age, and also it was blocked, so she could only phone me and her dad. So if anything went wrong, or she maybe 14, 15, she was still at school. So anything was wrong at school, she could phone her dad or phone me, and that's all the numbers she needed. And we just sorted that out. So at least we know that she could communicate with us. But we grew up without phones, and we're not dead.
It does freak me out now, though, when I just think like, I'd have to go to a phone box, and and every now and again I do see a phone box as well, and I just think, who uses that?
People who need a toilet.
Yeah,
so true.
I love the phone box. Not as a toilet. I mean, back in the day when you had to pee. I don't pee in them. It's not me. But now
the phone box. If I needed to make a private phone call, I'd have to go upstairs in my mum's room and use her phone. That was it.
And what one of the bonuses of it is on the landline is if someone phoned up that you didn't want to speak to, you'd be like,
Yeah.
Dad, tell him I'm not in.
Yeah.
And can't get away from it.
My dad used to do that anyway, even if I didn't even know. And he'd go, no, she's not here. Hang out. I was like, what's the meaning about no? And I was like, no. She went, it was a boy, so no.
And so I just want to start to sort of move into talking about the documentary, and you know, a lot of that is about when you got sectioned, when you lost your hair, and the impact that had on your career. And I you know, I don't want you to sort of feel like you need to go into, you know, huge detail and dig up anything, you know, at length there, Gal. But can you sort of try to sort of put it, you know, a bit of an insight for those that haven't seen the documentary, like not sort of pitch it to them, because we're going to put the show notes, the link to it in the show notes, because I want people to watch it, because it's a really fantastic documentary. But can you sort of tell us about the real kind of bones of what happened that led to that?
Okay, well, yeah. So yeah, obviously I've got alopecia. So my hair fell out. I've been suffering from mental health issues for, I mean, as I said, since teenage years. So hair falling out, working in TV, they didn't really want to touch me because I didn't look right. And I was asked to wear a wig a couple of times, and I thought, no, it's just, you know, maybe one day I might just pop it on a night out. I've got a couple of purple, pink ones, whatever. But I was just like, no, I'm not changing for anybody else. I'm still the same person. So anyway, that all started to go rubbish. So then bills were coming in, no work was coming in. So obviously I was paying bills. And then was that a song, isn't it? Anyway, so then I couldn't afford to stay in my house, and I ended up homeless, living on a bench. That's the song. No, it's living in a box. And then so after living on a bench for a while, I made a phone call to an ex and said, you know, I'm really struggling with my mental health, and like I put all my stuff into storage. It's all I can't afford to get it out. I've got a bag full of clothes. That's it. And he said, oh, right, I'll phone someone. And then the next thing, 4 police officers turned up. So instead of phoning someone that could maybe talk to me, he phoned the police. So the police came, took me to hospital, dumped me in a room for, I think, between 12 and 15 hours, with one of them standing outside, so I couldn't get out. And then 2 doctors came that I'd never met in my entire life. And they said, I would like your mum or your dad to sign this form to section you, because we don't know what to do with you because you've got no home. And I said, well, my mum's dead and my dad lives in Spain. So 2 people that I've never met signed the form to say that they're in charge of me. And then they put me into a section ward. And then I'm doing it quite quick, haven't I? Okay. And then so they put me in a section ward I was supposed to be there for 28 days, and then put me in for they let me out after about 15. But all they did was they didn't have any doctors there. There was no doctors. It was just security. And I had a security man outside my bedroom who'd watch me shower, like literally sit on a seat and watch me shower. And then they'd give me 3 pills in the morning, 3 pills in the afternoon, 3 pills in the evening. And then eventually after day 14 or 15, a whole bunch of doctors came in with their notepads and all the rest of it. And they said, we're really sorry. You shouldn't have been here. You can go now, but you're going to have to take the medication with you because you're going to have withdrawals.
Yeah.
And so that kind of that obviously no one wanted to touch me after that, because my phone was hacked before I went in, because they took the phone off me. I wasn't allowed a phone, but they knew where I was. So journalists were outside my, you know, the places that I was staying, friends' sofas and all the rest of it. And and it all just went kind of like from one bad thing to the next. And then Big Brother, so I was vulnerable, that program. And I agreed to do that because I had no money at all. I had nothing. And I thought, well, if I go in there, they're going to like my mental health. They don't care about your mental health. So you go in there, make a bit of cash, come rent a place, and then I'll be all right. And so I thought, well, they vote me out after week 1. And they kept me in for fucking ages. I was thinking, sorry, did I like to swear? I've just
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And they kept me in, and I was like, week 3, I was like, Big Brother, please let me out, because if you walk, you don't get paid. So yeah, that's one of the So anyway, but I'm in this flat now. It's the same flat that I got when I came out of Big Brother, and then I got asked to do this documentary about mental health and how you get treated, and I jumped at the chance because I thought, you know what, people don't understand. And even when I was doing the documentary, I met 5 doctors in 5 days, 10 minutes with me. So Doctor 1 said I had bipolar 1. Doctor 2 said I had bipolar 2. Didn't even know there was more than one, but that was great. And then Doctor 3, I was pretty upset because he didn't say bipolar 3. I was like, "Ooh, this is exciting, bingo!" But then Doctor 3, Doctor 3 said I was just hyperactive. And then Doctor 4 said I suffered from depression, and the worst one was Doctor 5 said I was totally normal.
I totally get what you're coming from there, Gail. 100%.
10 minutes with 5 different people, and that was it. I got 5 different things.
So what is your official diagnosis now?
I don't know. I don't care. To be honest with you, I know that people like to have, some people like labels, some people want to know things, but some people want to take drugs. I don't want to. I don't want to know what anyone else thinks. If I'm feeling bad, I know I'm feeling bad and I can deal with it. I can go for a run, or I can go to a cycle class or something, keep my head down, don't have to speak if I don't want to. But I would not let anyone tell me what I am and what I'm not.
So the doctor that said that you were normal and that said that you haven't got a diagnosis, you were frustrated stuff about that?
Oh, it's just like, that was just a bit of a joke. I just thought,
okay.
No, it's just
right.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, normal. Oh, come on.
Oh.
I was waiting for woo, psycho. No. No, it was great. Normal. He was just like, yeah, you're just normal. You're just a little bit up, you're a bit down, but I wouldn't give you any medication. He went, do you want medication? I was like, no. It works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. I've had it before, and after being sectioned, the stuff that they gave me, I was
So
all
you
over
manage
it.
your mental health independently with like good diet, exercise, surrounding yourself with good people, rejecting any kind of toxicity.
And I set an alarm. I get Alexa, although Alexa can be a little bit of a bitch, because I said to her the other day, she knows I'm single. So anyway, I always set the alarm for like 6, 7 o'clock, because I'm up and down all night. Stu knows, because we sort of like text going, what are you doing up at 3 or 5? So I've got really bad sleep, but I set her to speak to me at 6 or 7. So even if I feel shit, I get up because it's set. And if I don't want to, I'll even just go for a walk down to the bottom of the road, come back. Or if I'm feeling up for it, I'll go for a run. But I need to get outside, because I know if I don't go outside, I'm quite happy to stay in my bed if I'm sad. But Alexa, the other day, so she just picks her own songs. How do I make that stop? So anyway, the other day she said, it went doop, doop, doop. I can buy myself flowers. I was like,
fuck you, Alexa.
And then I said, oh, Alexa, could you do another alarm in like 20 minutes? And then she's like, okay. And then she goes, do, do, all by myself. Come on, mate. This is too much. I'm getting up. I'm out. She's picking on me now.
It is weird. Like I was always a little bit obsessed with, like, before Alexa, when people would have a song as their wake up call on their phone, and the relationship that you develop with that is a real love-hate one. And our mutual friend, Gal, Justin, for years, and it was his ringtone as well. Do you remember Omar? Like, there's nothing like this. And if you wake up in the morning, it's a lovely thing to wake up. It's that
Brilliant.
And I thought, that's a really nice way to wake up. And but then he changed it to the Lighthouse Family, and we didn't talk about that. I was like, you can't have the Lighthouse Family, Justin.
No,
nothing wrong with the Lighthouse Family.
Everything is wrong with the Lighthouse Family. Oh my god, no! I've got Bronski Beat and the Communards on my phone.
Oh, fantastic! What? Don't leave me this way.
Don't leave me this. So every morning, so Alexa, I don't know how to tell Alexa to play the Communards. I don't understand how to do it. She doesn't listen.
I had Sarah Jane Morris from the Communards on Off the Beaten Track last week.
No, wow.
She was absolutely wonderful. She was a really, really fascinating individual.
I was actually... Oh, sorry, go on.
Go on, that was it.
Oh, no, no, no. I was literally just saying, I was listening to your 80s podcast. I think it was June or July. It's been a little while since I've been able to listen to one, and listening to you and your co-host talking about, you were just shouting out obscene things to get Alexa to play.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
How is he, by the way?
He's all right. He's all right. Yeah. He's doing all right. He's on the road to recovery, bless him. And so this documentary gets put together. And I remember when it was happening, you know, you were saying that it was all coming together and it was being edited. And then the next thing we know, Gal Porter strolling around with a BAFTA. I mean, how was that?
Well, it was just the weirdest thing because it was lockdown and my dad was in the documentary. Yeah, because I remember saying to my dad, I was like, I'm sorry if I ever let you down, Dad. He went, no, you just let yourself down. I was like,
it's even worse.
Ended, right? And I said, oh, I might win an award for this. He went, I very much doubt that. So anyway, he passed away in Spain just before lockdown. So I've got him in the spare room because he pissed me off. So not his whole body. I did it for a tiny wee bit. And
stuff.
Yeah, so I was sitting, and then it came up on my, I can't remember if it was on something, WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever Twitter, isn't it? Well, it was Twitter then. But it just said nominations for BAFTAs, and it was like being Gail Porter, and I was like, what? Okay. So I was thinking, oh, I hope it's not lockdown so I can maybe get dressed up and stuff. But obviously it's lockdown because nothing I can do is going to be properly right. So, but yeah. And then, so it was, do you remember we got like a couple of weeks off? We were actually allowed out and everyone went mental because it's like, oh yeah, we've all been sitting in and looking after each other and wearing masks and making sure that no one touched each other. But you can have 2 weeks off and you go and fuck strangers in Soho.
Yeah.
Cool, but it's only 2 weeks, so we're all going to be fine. So you're like, So anyway, I went into Soho with my mate.
By the way, fucking strangers in Soho is a great name for an indie band.
Yeah.
It was just like a dirty sea of what? So many people like this. Like, I'll kiss you because I've not been out for ages. Like, how is this healthy? But anyway, we went into Balance, me and one of my best friends, Emma, and she's got her laptop because we had to watch it online. And it was yeah, anyway, it was all on, and I went down for a pee, and she's like, I think you're up next. And I came up from having a pee, and she went, I think you just won a BAFTA. And I was like, you what? And then all these people that were sitting around going, you've just won a BAFTA. We've just seen it on that. And I was like, oh my God, that's weird. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Ziggy! Not that Ziggy's going to get it. Just see shit.
I feel really bad that Gail missed an opportunity to celebrate. Oh my God.
That's incredible. Look at that. Love it.
Congratulations, Gail. That's amazing.
Well, I made sure that when I was doing my stand-up that I say to everyone in the room, I said, we all suffer from mental health issues, problems that we don't talk about. And so I said, when I won that BAFTA, that's not my BAFTA. That is a BAFTA for every single person that suffers from everything. So I actually took it out to my Indian restaurant because the guy was a bit depressed. So I said, do you want it for a bit? And he's like, And I was like, yeah, you can have it. So he had it for a week. And then I took it to the coffee shop and they had it for a week. And then, yeah, I just passed it around the neighbours and that.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, in all seriousness though, Gal, when you got that BAFTA, knowing that you'd shown every inch of your vulnerability in that documentary and the fact that it was loved by everybody that's seen it, and to then have that acknowledged, and for somebody that works in entertainment to have that acknowledged in the highest possible accolade, like, how did that make you feel?
Well, obviously I felt a bit sick, but then I felt a bit like someone's listening. People are listening, and they're, I know it's just an award, and awards are nothing really, but to get an award like that just thinks, oh my God, we did something that someone's listened to, because there's so many documentaries out there. There's so many TV programs out there that, people go, that was great. That was good. That's lovely. but to actually get nominated was one thing, and then to win it, and I was like, oh my God, you people are listening to mental health. And also, you didn't help a lot, television folk. You did not help a lot when I was when I was suffering a little bit, but also it's my fault for not talking up. But then there's fear about talking in whatever job you're in. But so suddenly it's quite nice to watch the TV industry are kind of thinking, oh yeah, we probably had quite a lot to do with that, or the media. So I don't know, weird one.
It's strange because I think there's a lot of industries that are taking mental health and the well-being of their workers, much more seriously
so
now.
Which is
I mean, I don't know. I think is TV still lagging behind? Are they still lacking in their responsibility towards their?
Oh, I don't work there. I don't want to do anything. There's nothing I want to do in the telly box, really. No.
Yeah, go. You got a BAFTA. Done it.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Completed it.
I was asking a bunch of kids the other day there, not random kids. I'm not some sort of weirdo, but well, when I say kids, my daughter's friends who are like 20, 21, still kids. But I was like, if you were to watch TV with a presenter, what would you watch? And they were all like, I don't know. What presenters? I'm like, yeah, because there's nothing really.
Kids don't watch TV. They just watch YouTube. They don't watch TV.
YouTube. Even my daughter doesn't. I don't even know if the Love Island is on anymore, but she doesn't even watch that. Thank God. Yeah, and I just watch Prime.
And I think in a sort of bit of a pull back to what you just said there, Kirst, about an infrastructure within television now for the safeguarding of people's mental health. I think Gail mentioning Love Island there, and that's a prime example that up until very recently that wasn't in place. We've seen multiple suicides, haven't we, from people that have been on that show. That and I think in if you look at celebrity now, it's not like somebody's gone to drama school or somebody. You can become a celebrity for multiple means now, and you can reach incredible levels of fame very quickly, and through the likes of reality television and things like that. And then that rug can get pulled from under you so quickly. And it must be, and it must be just unimaginable to have that level of exposure, and the fact that, and to go back to the social media thing as well, like people will watch you on the telly. And, these kind of shows, this is when people just jump straight on social media and just tear strips off of these people at them. And that's not a healthy environment. And and I don't know what the industry could possibly do to safeguard people from social media, because it is a relentless and unforgiving place.
And I worry about the fact that these kids, they're doing what they want to do, which is, it is what it is. I mean, my God, I was naked for half of the 90s. I was a bit, naive. So, I'm one of those people, but I was working as well. And I was doing lots of other things. But these kids are given so much money so quickly. And I think, is anybody saying, you see them driving around in all these massive cars and they've got massive houses. And you're going, has anyone said, what, this might not last forever. This might just be a couple of years, and your mental health, and you're getting picked on social media, or you're wanting to make yourself look different on social media because you want people to think you look a certain way. And I was just like, oh, it's just too much. No, I don't know. It upsets me. I'm glad I didn't have social media when I was naked.
I'm so glad that didn't exist when I was young. I'm so glad camera phones didn't exist when I was young.
We'd be in jail.
I love the fact that there would have just been this like prison just full of 90s celebrities that had all finally been accosted for camera footage that's resurfaced. Drunken nights in the Groucho.
Oh my God, that's an idea for a show. Let's do that.
Well, look, I mean, it's lovely that we're laughing now, and because laughter is obviously a fantastic medicine, and that's a tenuous link there to move into something that when you told me you was doing this, I was like, do you know what? Like, just I we all love you anyway, Gal. But no, you just think, fucking hell, that's amazing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to do the most terrifying thing on the planet. I am going to do stand up.
Yeah.
At the absolute mecca of stand up. I'm just going to go and get stuck in and make my debut there. And I mean, I just thought, like, you go, girl. That is incredible. And if anyone could do it, I know you could. Tell us about where that come from, and obviously, and how it was.
I don't know. I just don't know what I was thinking of. Someone, you know, I'm from Edinburgh and I go most years and I love comedy. And then I guessed a few shows last year and someone said, oh, you should do your own show. And I went, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. That was probably Doctor number 4. A great idea, Gail. So anyway, so I thought, yeah. And then somebody contacted me saying, oh, the Assembly are interested in having you perform there. Obviously it's going to cost you a lot, and I thought, yeah, do you know what? I've gone through enough. So, I mean, it's going to be terrifying, but it could be very funny and it could lead me in a different path because I don't like telly. You know, it's not like the 90s when you had fun and you were so excited to go to work. It's now like, oh, you get a phone call going, would you like to go on Good Morning Britain? Not really. No. So, no offense to Good Morning Britain. I mean, I'm sure everyone's lovely, but you know, they don't pay you. Well, they don't pay me, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought, yeah, do you know what? Edinburgh doing stand-up, because you know, when you're with your mates, like, you know, if I was with you or Justin or Chris or anyone, and we're all going, oh my God, we're hilarious as a gang. We're a gang of funny folk. And then I thought, yeah, well, how difficult can it be on your own?
Yeah, that's the mad bit there. Because I think when I'm out with my mates, I'm cracking up going, oh yeah, we are hilarious. Should we go on stage and do that? Fuck no. But I love the fact that Porter's like, yeah, why not? Let's do that. Whereabouts? A little intimate show? Nah, Edinburgh Fringe. So, multiple nights.
So anyway, when I said, oh yeah, I'll do that, they were going, excellent, how many nights? And I went, I'll just do the whole lot. And they went, you know how many nights that is? I went, yeah. And they went, do you want any days off? I went, no, I'll be fine. And then they went, no, honestly, you need at least one day off because it's not normal. And I went, I'm not normal, it's fine. So I did take one day off, which actually I wasn't sure if it was the best idea because for my mental health, I mean, I was anxious every single day.
How many nights was it?
I did 28, but I did 2 days before that. I did Aberdour. I went to Aberdour Festival, and then I did somewhere in Glasgow, I think. I can't remember, just to get me ready. And then a day of rehearsals, and then every night. And then actually, when I took the one night off, my mental health was actually a little bit worse because I felt anxious because I didn't have something to do. I like being busy.
Living on that adrenaline, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing, my mental health is if I don't have things to do, then I start thinking negative, I'm terrible. Why should I be here? No one likes me. This is awful. And when I'm doing stand-up, you do worry that people are not going to laugh. But when you get that first bit of laughter, and then you think, oh, this is good. And then when people are enjoying themselves, and I talk to the audience as well, and everyone gets involved, you think, but I think a lot of I mean, I'm not a comedian, but I had the best fun and it was great. And it was sold out most nights. And the last night was the funniest night when everyone was really drunk and they're all from Scotland. And I was like, so anyone want to start? Where did you have your first job? And this woman in the front went, I'll tell you something, you'll put her right. And I was like, oh God. And I was like, would you like the microphone? She went, aye, I will. I'll tell you about my life, right? And so I gave her the microphone for about 10 minutes and she was twatted. And I don't actually know what she was talking about, but I just sat on the stage going, this is great. So that made me happy. So yeah, but like you say, it's the adrenaline thing, isn't it? Because if I don't do anything, then I don't think I'm worth anything. And I still think that, even though you know it's not the right way to be thinking. That I went to an event yesterday and I was coming out and I thought, oh God, I wore a dress. Was that the right thing to do? And I had trainers on and these people were young. And I'm walking all the way home thinking, oh my God, I shouldn't have gone. This is terrible. Why do I turn up at these things? I'm just so embarrassing to everyone. and then I can't sleep, and then I feel so. I just live off Buscopan. You know, with stomach cramps. I'd literally go up to the chemist every day, and they're going, more Buscopan. I was like, oh, my tummy's like this, but I just worry too much about everything.
So then, when do you get to the points where you go, fuck it? Fuck it. I don't care what I look like. I was wearing that dress and trainers. I looked amazing. Who gives a shit what people think?
Yeah, it just comes. I have certain days when I just think, yeah, do you know what? I rock everything. We're great. It's all good. But then you just get that one day and it knocks you back a couple of days and you think, oh, how do
It's a
I
bit
let
too
that happen?
loud, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if one person says, this is about social media as well, one person says something negative, hundreds of people say lots of lovely things. You're going to stick on that one negative. Why'd you do that?
It's just human nature. It's just what we do. It's bullshit. It's so sad that that's what we do. But yeah.
So how do we stop all this?
Mm.
I think that that some of the things that like drive me mad is like, oh God, did I say, did they take that the wrong way? Like when I said that, and like, oh God, are they like just thinking what an arsehole I am now? And like,
Yes.
You're overthinking as well. Yeah,
but and the bottom line is, people have got busy lives. They haven't even given a fuck about me, like since I walked out of the room. Like they're getting on with their lives, and it's that kind of thing where you just think that you might have said something, or you might have done something that might have sort of come across the wrong way. But it's like, ultimately they don't care. People don't really care. They're just getting on with their lives, aren't they? And like, and you know that 99.9% of the time you haven't, but it's just your mind going, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That might have really upset them. And like, to the point where if you actually went, because I am the sort of person that would then text and go, look, when I said that earlier, you know that wasn't like that. And they're like, I didn't even hear. All right, yeah, I've just drove myself crazy for 2 days. And like,
we didn't notice you were there.
Like, yeah, that'd be worse. What? That'd be
so bad. You were there.
I thought I was the star of the show. Oh dear. Well, look,
what?
we've had you for an hour, Gal, and it's always such an absolute joy chatting to you, mate. And so, BAFTA,
dubious. We sent you the nice picture.
Oh, you bumped into Pip, didn't you, when you was up there? Like
his mum this morning.
Oh, you chatting to his mum?
Yeah, because that's a charity thing that, like, so he's connected us. So I'm now chatting to mum.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, she's lovely, Jenny. She works for some, you know, Jenny as well, don't you, Kirst?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing something for the Samaritans in February. So I'm hoping, because I start my tour in February, but I'm hoping if I'm back, I'll do a tour. Isn't that mad?
I'll type. What's this? I did not know this.
Exclusive. Reach out for mental health exclusive.
I'm doing a UK tour, which has just been confirmed this morning.
Oh, Gal, that's amazing.
Are you coming to the Thameside Theatre in Grays? Yes.
Hang on 2 seconds. Now, I know I'm definitely around that area.
You going to South End?
Yes. Yeah, probably could.
Yeah, I'm definitely down South End, I think. I've got given 25 venues this morning, so I've not really gone through everything yet. So, and then I know I'm doing a Scottish tour in January, I think. So I'm doing Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Inverness, all that lot. And then February, I start the England tour.
Coming down south.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing, Gal. Like, oh, it's fantastic. Well, look, if people want to find out about where they can come and watch this, and is it the show that you done at the Fringe?
Well, I've written some more stuff, so I'm going to mix it up a bit, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah. So you can phone me on 074... No, I haven't got any links yet, so I'll put that in. So if I find out, I'll let you know. But as I say, it's just like today, so I've got to sign a few things this afternoon. And
oh, Gal, that's so exciting! I'm so happy for you, mate. And
you'll come.
Well, of course you will. We will.
To be quiet. Don't shout at me.
We'll tag you in this on the socials. So if people aren't following you already, then they can go and follow you now. And obviously, when the dates get announced, then I'm sure you'll be sharing them on your socials, so people can go and find out all about that then. And Gal, that is the
23rd. I'm at the Queer Comedy Club, which is North London. Queer Comedy Club. It's the London's first ever LGBTQ comedy club and nightclub and anyway, it was the first ever one. But I'm doing stand up there, but it's not long. I think there's about 10 of us performing, so I think I'm only doing like half an hour. But I'll be there on the 23rd for fun.
23rd of September.
Yeah.
Fantastic, excellent. Gail, thank you so much, mate. It's always lovely talking to you.
See you soon. I will just speak to you on Zoom.
No, you're going to come and get in the camper, and I'll tell you what, we'll get in the camper, we'll have an adventure, and we'll go to Norwich to meet Alan Partridge.
Oh my God, can we do that?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Oh my God, that'd be the best thing ever. That's a whole just tiny little YouTube thing.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that's in a camper van. Oh my God, it's going to be so clean because I'll bring all the cleaning products. Amazing. So exciting.
I love that. What did Gail bring to the table? Domestos, wipes.
Silicone, bang, and then police is born.
Oh, wonderful. Look, I'm going to press stop, but don't go anywhere.
Thank you so much for coming on, Gail.
No problem.